Welcome back, True Seeker. It is December 4th, 2025, the 56th anniversary of the Fred Hampton assassination by the FBI. And the top headline today is RFK Jr., his vaccine team, today and tomorrow are going to be voting on changing the jab schedule, possibly removing the recommended hepatitis B jab for infants. And CNN is saying this is a wackadoodle conspiracy theory-based decision because 16% of mothers are not screened for hepatitis B, which means there's a 16% chance it could be passed on to mothers giving birth to those children, and that's why the jab is given. They're saying there's no chance that anything could possibly go wrong with the jab. It's totally safe and effective. But notice, today, the first day of this discussion is the 322nd day of RFK Jr.'s age, and tomorrow will be 322 days after his birthday. As we talked about many a times, his father, who was assassinated in 1968, has the same birthday as Joe Biden. Do you remember when Joe Biden got his first Cooties 19 shot, how they gave it to him right at 3:22 p.m. local time? It just couldn't have been more perfect. It was right as the clock ticked to 3:22, like instantly right into his arm. They just couldn't have had it synced up any better. The nurse must have been looking at a countdown clock, watching it go 3, 2, 1, jab. Because right as it ticked to 3:22, it went right in his arm. And we covered that way back when. Joe Biden still biding his time. But yeah, as we know, 322, very important to Skull and Bones. And why does Skull and Bones matter in a medical discussion? Well, a lot of people should look into it. Skull and Bones, a.k.a. the Brotherhood of Death, where one of their most famous members is Daniel Coit Gilman, who founded the Johns Hopkins University, which has a lot to do with these jab schedules. That's just it. This Skull and Bones legacy having so much influence on the medical world. And look into the many different hospital chains that are out there in the United States of America and see how many of them actually have roots and founders who were part of Skull and Bones, aka the Brotherhood of Death. This ritualism is going on all the time. Any fool should be able to see that the Western medical world is failing. So much money, so much investment, so much supposedly research dollars. But as time passes, everyone is becoming less healthy. The expectancy of a life is decreasing. More and more children dying at younger and younger ages from preventable disease and illness. And the medical world shrugs its shoulders and says, they don't know what's going on. They don't know. But it's not those pokey dokes. It's not all the crap in the food. It's not the crap they put in the water. It's not what's going on with the tic-tac-toe patterns in the sky. Anyone who'd even think about those things is a conspiracy theorist. Again, every step of the way with RFK Jr., it's been a tribute to the secret societies that run this nation. But yeah, you really think about the hepatitis B jab being recommended to infants. I mean, how is it not overkill? How is it not? Hepatitis B, something that comes from something people usually start to do in their teenage years, late teenage years, for some people a little bit older than that. You know, as children, when I was growing up, we learned about the Mad Hatters and, how mercury caused mental problems and, oh, no, it couldn't be the mercury preservatives in the jabs. No, it couldn't be that. It's not the same as the Mad Hatter thing. Really? It's not? It's weird. Nobody had these problems. Oh, wait, never mind. Yeah, never mind. They did have these problems years ago. They just learned to recognize them. Yeah. It's just so annoying listening to all the crap each day. Nobody born in the 50s, 60s, 70s ever, this wasn't going on. We only just learned to recognize it in recent decades. That's such a load of shit. And by the way, this Cassidy guy who was big in the ritual with RFK Jr.'s swearing in, which happened when the year, perfectly synced with the year of the snake. As the year of the snake began, they were having RFK Jr. sworn in, who said he was a snake. Just like how he's working for the guy Trump, who also read the snake poem a bunch of times. Again, if you've missed all my work on that, you should check it out. The jab schedule is 72 shots. Year of the snake equals 72, like RFK Jr., like Jesuit order. Of course, he's Jesuit educated at Georgetown Prep. Just like Trump's Jesuit educated, like President Trump equals 72. Anyway, this guy asked a lot about the 72. And something real interesting about Mr. Cassidy is he's 68 years old right now. And notice he was born in 57, like VACCINE equals 57, just like Bill Gates, who operates out of 68 land, Seattle, Washington. But notice, today is the 68th day of him being 68 years old, and tomorrow, when the votes finalize, will be 68 days after his 68th birthday. Remember, RFK was assassinated in 68, the father, and CIA equals 68, and a lot of things went down in 68. That Yale professor put out the book about why we need to reduce population called The Population Bomb. Of course, fentanyl was approved by the FDA, which has killed a lot of people. Corona, virus, was coined in 68 as seasonal flu, which means they locked down the world over the seasonal flu. Remember, Lester Holt told you flu cases were down to zero, where corona cases were way up. They had to lock down the corona factory. They had to kill John Fletcher of Friends and have Snoop Dogg do a corona ad. I don't want to get into it. Anyway, again, to think all this stuff is a coincidence day after day is just to be a fool. Talk about how important these same numbers are to this cabal over and over. Don't forget, one of the most prominent members of Skull and Bones graduated from college in 68. George W. Bush. George W. Bush out in 68. Back when his daddy, before he became VP and president, was working for the CIA. Lead hijacker, born in 68. Timothy McVeigh, born in 68. So many things tracing back to 68. This Kennedy family wants to keep going into government, but never speaks out about, what happened to their family. I shouldn't say never speaks out. RFK Jr. actually has spoken out a little bit about what happened to his family members, but understand all of this is just for the slingshot effect, right? Maybe there'll be a cutback on the pokey-dokes, the schedule for a short period, and then just watch what they'll say. Oh, because we did that, now we got even more problems. Now we need even more pokey-dokes. Before it was recommended 72 shots, because of the conspiracy theorists being in charge, we need even more. We're jumping the schedule up to 144 shots. Just watch. That's what'll happen over time. Something just like that. Don't kid yourself. So yeah, old 322, Skull and Bones, got their fingerprints over the whole medical system. Got their fingerprints on a lot of things. Anyway, that's the update for now. And